Hey guys, welcome to... You alright? Alright, welcome to another episode of Wealthy Minds Decoded. My name is Minesh Bindi.
And I'm Andy Shaw.
Sorry, I caught him a bit too early while he was pressing record on the computer, that's why. We have our director, Peter, here. You want to say hello?
Good afternoon, everybody.
I think they can hear you, it should be fine.
Should be fine, but there's nobody in the background going, we can hear you, is there? So, don't worry about it.
We did that joke.
We did that joke last time, on you.
Did you?
Yeah. But we've
That
got
was
it,
so long ago,
we've got
I
it,
almost forgotten.
we've got it recorded.
Oh, really?
It was last week. People can go watch that. It was really cool.
Should we get on with it?
Last week's episode, don't bother watching that.
Don't
It was
bother
a mess.
It was...
Some good points, but it was developed.
It fell apart at
dropped
the point.
into anarchy at some point, didn't it? Eh?
Point
And
Andy said he was looking for an answer for a question he didn't know. So at that point, it sort of fell apart, and Pete started crying.
Again.
Right. What are we talking about?
Well, we're going to talk about what separates a wealthy mindset from a poor mindset. A poor mindset wants to take credit for its victories, whereas a wealthy mindset tries to give credit away.
Right. This is super important because what we both find is that people, and we've actually both been there a lot. what we find.
I've been guilty of this in the past.
Yeah, just a little bit, and me too. Right. What we find is
just
that
a lot.
Just a lot. A poor mindset wants to take credit for everything, and everything that's created is as a result of for them. They want everyone to know that they were the person that created everything. They were the person that was the holy grail and the answer for everything that is created. Whereas a wealthy mindset doesn't care. They just want the result. And this frees them up a lot to be able to get the result.
Yeah, well, it used to when I first stopped fitting windows for a living. When I was, I had my company and I'd left from the factory to go into the offices. I was still on the competitive side of wanting to just carry on. I wanted to, this is my idea. This is my idea. I've come up with it. I've made this work. Yes, I've pulled this up and all this sort of rubbish. Right? And it was. The problem is that as you get older, Peter's doing a number of signs in the background. As you get older, you realise I woke up to the fact that this was ridiculous. This was a ridiculous way to think about things, because there's no way you can build a team around you and have people do the most amazing amount of things for you if you're the person going, yes, it's me, it's all me. No, it's not all you. The last thing you want it to be is all you. You want it to be everyone else, so you don't have to do anything, right? And so the wealthy mindset develops ways of letting everybody else think it's their ideas, even when it isn't, because they don't want the credit and that sort of thing. They just want the result, exactly as Minesh said. I just look for the result now, and if I can, if I come up with the idea, I try and make it so that somebody else thinks it's their idea.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in section 3.
Okay,
so
all right.
let's not overstep that before Pete starts. Right.
Well, we should get a mirror. So
you should actually hold the mirror right here. That would be brilliant. Right. So the key benefit in this is that it detaches you from any adulation that you can get. One of Steve Jobs' quotes, I can't exactly remember it, was, when you create something, and I'm paraphrasing this a lot, when you create something amazing, don't dwell on it for too long. Go forward and start creating something amazing again. And one of the things I say is that your successes are there to be admired by others, not by yourself. So you just need to keep moving on. Just let it be someone else's idea, let it be admired, and move on. And this just it frees you up.
The problem is that all the time you are focusing on this adoration, and you want to be this person. You're not being that person. Okay, you've had a few good ideas, but you're getting people's backs up and that sort of thing. And if you're trying to build a team, you're trying to get people to do things for you. It isn't the way to build a team. It isn't the way to lead. You want to give them credit as much as possible. We're going to cover that in a second, aren't we? Yeah.
Right. Next section.
Okay, section 2, guys. All about creating a successful mindset. What can it do for you once you have this successful mindset, guys? Put us in.
And then say the subject. Second episode in a row.
I just did.
Go on then, try it again then, because obviously we missed it.
Once you have a wealthy mindset, it frees up the power for creative thinking.
There you go.
What do
You
do with
didn't
it,
say
guys?
that, did you? Did he say that?
He
Or
did
was
say
it
that.
me?
He did say that. It was you, yeah.
I didn't say it word for word, but I did say it.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Pete's just explained how it wasn't his fault. Right?
Right.
But that's another episode, isn't it?
It is another episode. Yeah.
Right.
We could do many episodes on you, mate. It's not an issue.
Which one's Hammy the hamster in?
See, what people don't understand is that what we try and do, because we're such good people, is every case study is actually Peter. And what we do is try and mould it around everybody, other people, so that it's not as rude when he's sitting right there. That's why we. If you look at the first shows, Peter wasn't involved. But why we did it in there is for inspiration during these.
So we've got something to look at.
Yeah.
Please send me somebody else's picture there.
Yeah, you know, it's just, it works.
Right.
Right, frees up your creative thinking power. When you're not taking credit for the success of your investing, your business, your relationship, whatever, and you're allowing other people to have the benefit of that and the respect for that and everything else, allows you to strategically think. Because now I can send somebody off for, like, well, we're going to talk about that in a second, and I'm going to tread thinly on this line. I can think about something that we want to do in a year's time, let somebody else take the credit for it, and still get the result.
Well, you go. It is exactly doing what you said about in the Steve Jobs quote a second ago, because you are, don't look at what you've done. Let's go and create something else. Yeah. So you're able to, give the people the. I mean, one of the key things employees look for is respect and that sort of thing. Well, you give them the respect, give them the ideas, let them think they're theirs. Yeah, they love the job more, and they will do more for you. And if you're leading a team and that sort of thing, the best thing to do is to give them the credit. And it gives you the time to go and create the next thing that you can get to give them the credit for.
I think what we'll do is we'll merge straight into section 3 and then talk about both of these, because it'd probably be much more useful talking about this from.
Okay.
So do you want to just introduce
Section 3 normally covers a case study, bad mindset or a culture analysis. So talk about your experiences of this in business, guys.
Right. Okay.
I think what you were saying earlier is how you're. Well, you tell the story. Andy.
Which bit?
No. I think I want to tell you the story. You tell the story. Go for it.
I'd need to know which bit it was.
Which story?
You were talking about it earlier. Carry on. Because I don't want to take your fire.
Well, it's probably
You've taken his fire now.
Well, we've probably spoken about 30 different stories this morning, so please give us a clue.
How you were talking about motivating employees in the workplace, creating an environment to cultivate the line of thinking you're after.
I don't remember that story. But
right. Anyway, let me cover a story while they're thinking about it. Right. One of when we were involved in property, we had I had a huge need to be the front of everything until a certain point. And then I had a lady working for us, and I gave her the ability to a certain extent to negotiate deals. Right? So she would negotiate the deal up to a certain point, and then I would verify everything. And she just loved it. And we started doing 3 times the number of deals that we would have, because all the difference was she had the power and the ability to say, yes, I work for Sony Financial Management, which is the name of the company, and I'm negotiating this deal. She got the credit for it, and we managed to start doing 3 times the number of deals. It was as simple as that. Tripled our business.
Yeah. When we, at the start of a business, when you've got a lot of partners and that sort of thing, you can find that we found that we were fighting a lot of times in one of our businesses. Not from a nasty point of view. It was like kids playing, and we still do it now. You might have got the culture around here, because we're all vying for who's going to win the score the highest point on a particular anecdote that we're talking about, or something like that. But
basically, we like to take the piss.
Yeah, it's part of it's part of the fun, as far as we're concerned. But it's very childish.
There's no real winners, is there? The game is to make someone else a loser. Who can be made to look the most stupid?
That's true,
None of us need to win.
Oh no.
As long as somebody's in pain, somebody looks like a loser. That's all that matters. You don't actually need to win. Is that true?
That's actually true. The winner doesn't really need to be there.
No.
The enjoyment is in creating
Seeing somebody
a loser.
else lose.
That's the enjoyment. Yeah.
It's reveling in somebody else's failure rather than enjoying your own success.
It's funny how you've observed how we look when we take the piss out of you
watching
now.
you two, it makes so much sense.
Now the funny thing is that one of the I can't remember where I got this from, but guys are always you're never sarcastic to somebody you don't like and you don't respect. You just can't be bothered. Then it's rudeness. But the way we are, it's continuous attack. We're off on a cruise in 5-6 weeks time, something like that, and it's going to be non-stop verbal abuse for 18 to 20 hours a day
for 20 days
for a good week and a half, if not a bit longer.
No, longer than
yeah,
that,
but that's what it's going to be, because it's just fun to do it. That's what we enjoy doing. And it pushes your mind, because you have to be sharper. You have to come up with answers quicker than the person next to you. Anyway, we slipped off onto this. So
that's another show that we're talking about. It's called The Power of Taking a Piss. But let's move back on to this show.
Pete, what was the story?
The story was on how you were in the factory, and you started giving people credit.
It's using the power of creative thinking.
When I had the factories, I came back in, and I'd been this window fitter, and I used to relish in going out and I'd go to a company and I'd start working for them, and I'd say, who's your fastest window fitting team? They say, oh, it's Bill and Fred. I go, oh, can you put us alongside Bill and Fred? And I'd do it on purpose. I'd go over there and I'd do it to just destroy these guys. And it was such a childish thing. But I'd go alongside them, they'd be fitting there, and I'd say, show me the standard you want. And they'd show me the standard of fitting they want, because I was a cabinet maker. Most of the window fitters are carpenters at best. It's easy for me to be neater than anything they do, and of course I was very, very fast at it, so I was able to just take them apart. Literally, it was, we'd be doing a house of windows, and we'd finish the house of windows by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They'd be on halfway through the house. That'd be it, done. And so I had this. That's what I used to do. So when I went into the factories, and we were building this factory, we were building production lines. Of course, this attitude wouldn't work, because you weren't one person. I used to run my few people around me. But then I had to expand it out to the factory, and so what I looked to do is I looked to give even the person on the lowest, the person who swept the floor. I used to inspire them, find a way to inspire them, find a way to get them to make the factory neater. Anything I could do to make them feel more valuable was what I viewed my job to be, because if I could inspire them, then they would do what they were supposed to do. All I needed to do was provide a formula for them to work to.
And more importantly, it was you could then focus on the overall picture and the overall growth of the company.
What I was saying earlier, which is what exactly you just said, is you used to create an environment which gave people a cultivated environment, gave people the opportunity to excel in what they did, come up with new ideas, improve their own environment. But saying that, you did lay down guidelines which pushed them in the direction you wanted them
Absolutely.
to go.
It wasn't a free fall.
Of course.
Yeah, no. So I mean, it was obvious to people that could see what was going on, exactly the end result you wanted to. But by cultivating and creating an environment that would happen, those solutions were come to or created by the individual.
I didn't want. I always looked at the way Andrew Carnegie did it, even though I'd never read what he said at the time. At the time, I'd never read what he said. What he used to say was, a person would be a normal member of society, outside of work, and the second you got them into work, you were supposed to treat them like a child and that sort of thing. How did this grown adult go from being a grown adult to a child when they were in work and they had to conform to these set of rules? And the problem is that businesses don't inspire their employees to be all they can be, to get them to do what they to enjoy their work. And so most of the people live lives of quiet desperation because they're not enjoying what they do. What I did was I said, right, well, here's the guidelines. This is where I want us to go. I want us to go down this road, and what we need to do is you can go within there, get us there, go and enjoy it. And they'd come up with some amazing solutions, and they would, people would say, well, it was, I could easily turn around and say, well, it's my factory and that sort of thing. But no, they came up with the ideas, and I used to give them credit for it whenever possible.
It's like one of the things that Richard Branson, when I met him when I was speaking at the event in January, and I asked him, how do you run 300 bloody companies? The thing he said was quite simple. He said, create a vision, find somebody, make your vision that person's life mission, and leave them to it. And that's the same principle. It's like now with Gold for Life and what we're doing with that. One of my assistants, actually, no, the whole team has got so much free movement on how to do certain things. It's like, you know, I've got my best assistant yet in life. She can handle pretty much anything to her discretion, right? She knows my vision, which means if she veers off the vision, then we're going to come back to it. But other than that, she can pretty much handle it. We have tech people for videos and stuff that we put online, and there's none of this, you know, make sure the video is in this format or looks like this. It's, what do you think is the best? Go and do that. And with Isabel, it's, you know, what do you think? How do you think we should run our next launch, for example? Let's go and do that, you know? And it just gives, when you're in business for a long time, and I think you can, you know, back this up, when you're in business for a long time, what will happen is you'll get set in your certain ways. And what happens when you set a vision and just let somebody else get there is that they might be able to think of something more creative and a little bit better and faster to actually get you to your end goal.
It doesn't happen all the time.
You've got to
keep
get
an eye.
some idiots.
Yeah, but you've got to you let it loose. If you can,
it's like Donald Trump, right? Was doing a speech at NAC, and he said he used to say, find people that were better than you and let them get on with it. And he said, I changed that now after his experience. And he goes, find people that are better than you.
Let them get on with it, but watch them.
Let them get on with it, but watch them properly.
Exactly. Yeah. That's all it is. All you've got to do is give them the freedom, but watch what they're doing. What that does is that frees your mind up to be more creative. To
Detail
go to
the
next
vision.
level.
Detail the vision. Detail the
you're
vision.
the one out front leading the ship. That's what a wealthy mind does. They're the one leading where we want to go. Yeah, and everybody else has been sent to help you get there. So your job's to lead it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's pretty done.
Yeah.
Right? I think anything else you want to,
guys?
Yeah. Cool.
That's cool.
Well, make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you share this with your friends. Make sure you go put it all over Facebook. As you know, we do this because we love doing this. I think you guys get a lot of value out of it, and it's pretty important when you can understand these little intricacies and the differences between wealthy minds and a poor mindset. You can really change the direction and the speed and the velocity that you're going at towards whichever goal that you're working on. So make sure you do that. Share, leave comments and everything, all that sort of stuff. Check the other episodes.
We had record comments in last week, and thank the listeners for their feedback.
That's because everyone was going, can we see Pete crying? that's what the comments were. Right. Thank you very much for watching. We do appreciate you watching and everything else. Without you guys, there would be no us, because we have these conversations anyway, but it wouldn't have been a show unless we knew that you guys were watching. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And we shall speak to you next week. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.